Well, very successful stint in Las Vegas. Played really, really well in a lot of different phases. To be able to perform offensively the way that we did without Jalen House, without Jamal Mashburn was extremely encouraging. I think it showed just kind of what the future looks like now. Who the hell knows with all transfer stuff and all that. But we've got some young, talented pieces to go along with some good veterans. So it was 3 great wins. Those weeks can be very, very challenging with Thanksgiving, 3 games in 4 days, the element of Las Vegas, all that. And our guys handled it great. So now we're certainly excited for, a 3-game home stint. A really tough week. Louisiana Tech is analytically the second best team that we have faced thus far. So we know it'll be a challenge, but we're certainly excited to be home. Steve, go curse him out.
How different is Louisiana Tech since they got the waiver for this?
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he's a 5-man. It looks different for sure. I watched the Colorado State game, which was early, and they were up 10 at Colorado State, but he did not play. And he's a true kind of 5-man, skilled. So he's kind of that low post presence that they were looking for. They've got good talent. They really do, and they're well coached.
You have an update on Jalen?
Day to day, I mean, I think he's trending in the right direction. It'll be a game-time decision, but he practiced yesterday. He'll practice today. He's inching closer and closer for sure.
You also have a Mash.
Mash is hobbling. I would highly doubt he plays tomorrow. Didn't practice yesterday, and we'll see where he's at today. He's progressing, but certainly not 100%.
As far as their mindset for both of them, with Mash, he never missed a game. You said he missed 1 practice, I think, in his college career. Jalen's now up to 5 games missed. I'm just curious kind of where they're at.
Well, I think Mash is definitely down about it. Jalen's close to the return, so he's probably more excited. You're catching him at different times, I guess you could say. I think Jalen's excited to feel healthy. He went through practice yesterday, no issues. We did contact with him. So he had his, usual pep to his step. He doesn't like to dip his toe in the water. He jumps right in there, makes his presence felt, which is good. Where Mash, I think, is discouraged because he takes pride in being available. He takes pride in practicing and all those things. So you could there are definitely different phases of where they're at.
And I know it's a good problem to have, but when Jalen comes back, what's the Donnie-Jalen dynamic going to be like?
Yeah, they have to play together. I mean, I think Donovan has showed what I love about Donovan is everybody knows when he has the ball, make yourself available because he's going to find you. And that's the sign of a great point guard. And so he's looking to pass the ball for sure, so they can play together.
Do you anticipate JT being as comfortable at this level as he was just saying?
I will throw Jeff Grammer under the bus. Jeff was at a practice over the summer, and he asked me, who should I vote for Mountain West Freshman of the Year? And I said, I don't know the other freshmen in the league, but I would vote JT. Do these things really matter? No, they don't. But from the second he stepped on campus, he's been impressive, and he's made me change some of the things offensively that we're doing because we need to utilize him. So we always thought we got a good player. We always thought he was a bit of a steal. So I'm not surprised by it because he's been very, very consistent every day.
I did not vote for him.
Yeah, I know you didn't. Nobody cares, by the way. But
I also know you take things one game at a time, but also there's a pretty big game coming up on Saturday. The Aggies, how are you looking at that? Just getting back.
Are we doing media Thursday or Friday?
I wasn't planning on it unless you want to do it Thursday, Friday.
I don't care if you guys want to do it. We can do it. But yeah.
We'll do it Friday.
You want to do on Thursday and Friday? I mean, we could talk Friday about it. I haven't even thought about it. All hands on deck for Louisiana Tech.
The 3-point shooting still hasn't. I know Jamal Baker started hitting a couple, but it hasn't exactly picked up a whole lot overall. Is that still something you're hoping to?
Well, I think Baker making shots will certainly help. When House gets back, that'll help. Will JT be a high volume guy at the 4? I doubt it. I think he can make one, but I don't know if that's going to be his thing. Mustafa has shown that he can make a higher percentage than what he has done, so I hope he can certainly see the ball go in. That seems to relieve guys. True has shown the ability to make some. Q has shown the ability. So offense, I have no gripes with the offense. And we shot 57% last game. But, yeah, we need to be able to – we may look personnel a little bit like last year, but if we share the ball like we did versus Pepperdine, there'll be a really good balanced offensive attack.
Are we starting to see Nelly as just, not ungodly numbers, but just steady, controlled,
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for people to be rational. That's the world that we live in. He's been here a month. I think a month today is what it is. That's really, really hard. I look at what he did at Iona. Now, I've seen him more than everybody else because I watched all of Iona's games. So I saw what he can do. I saw what he did versus Morris in our building. Nelly is going to get better and better as he continues to get more comfortable. And he's showing it. I mean, it's a timing thing. I highly doubt he was in Nigeria doing what we're doing every single day. So he looked really good his last game, and he continues to improve every single day.
As far as tempo goes, you guys have been playing some up and down games. Maybe that's because you're making so many shots. There's not long possessions, but you guys are, I think it's 6 right now in Ken Palm in tempo. I know you want to play fast, but that's extreme fast. Our 6 out of 360 teams is pretty fast.
I've always said that tempo slows down if you're a way better defensive team. I thought we were terrific at times in Vegas defensively, but that'll slow the game down. Offensively, I have never told our guys to shoot fast. I've never said that. We want to push the pace. We run some early action that may create something, but I don't. 6 is probably a little too fast for sure, but I'm never going to push the brakes. I mean, we were phenomenal off of misses last game. We were very, very efficient. And that's the time where you can really, really run. So 6 is probably a little high, but, we'd certainly love to be top 50-ish, whatever that may be.
You never want to have injuries, obviously, but with that, the way the team played with 2 starters like House and Mashburn out in your most recent game against Pepperdine had to be something you were very pleased with.
Extremely encouraging. If college sports didn't change as drastically as it changed, you sit there and go, my goodness, we've got a sophomore, we've got 2 freshmen who are going to be terrific players that are on the court right now. Every single year, we're going to have to build a new team, whether it's retained, transfers, et cetera. So there's a whole different thing there. But we got some really good young talent, and you look at, do you take all transfers? Do you recruit high school kids? Like Donovan Dent, pretty darn impressive for a high school kid. JT, True, very, very impressive. Braden came in, looked, for a young guy. Quentin, I mean, those are all high school kids that we recruited who are all, technically freshmen except for Donovan. So there's still value in the high school recruiting. The problem is we're living in a world where people are growing more and more impatient now than ever. So you got to find a way to win now. But yeah, I mean, I'm very, very encouraged by the trajectory of the program to go along with the recruiting has been, I think, terrific.
With all those young guys, is there any concern at all, just in terms of like hitting a freshman wall or anything like that? Yeah,
of course. There's concerns. Everything that we do, there's concerns. And freshmen have to understand how to be good all year. And they normally do hit a wall. And they normally, older guys are able to kind of power through that and perform when they're tired, mentally, physically, going through, we deal with 2 semesters. So you've got finals and all those things. Christmas break, travel, all that. And the great ones don't wear down. So although JT and True have been very, very impressive, how can you do that when you're tired? Those are where the great players separate themselves.
Was Braden's dunk something that was talked about a lot when maybe watching film?
I rewound it a couple times and said, we're going to put that on your senior day. Hopefully you're still here. You never know. These guys never stay 4 years anymore, or 5 for him. But we'll put that on the senior day highlight reel. It was a good move. Good little crossover. I'd give it about a 6 out of 10. I thought he could have got a little higher on it.
6 out of 10.
Yeah, no, it kind of like hit the front and it wasn't it was a good dunk. But it was a great moment for him.
Yeah, obviously not basketball related, but you mentioned him at your presser when you got hired, and Danny's been let go since we talked to you last. So just curious your thoughts on just sort of Danny and what he meant to, I guess, your first few years here.
Yeah, he reached out to me during the process before I got hired, and he spoke about Albuquerque, and I thought that I was a guy who'd been here one time for a game in the pit, and I didn't really know Albuquerque all that well, and Danny's conversation really helped sway me in the direction of taking the job. I was here alone, and him and Sandra reached out, took me out to dinner. I went to the wrong restaurant, but I learned where the valley was versus the Northeast. He taught me that, but it just handled himself with amazing class, amazing grace. Did everything right. We are in a very tough position. I have dealt with it. I've been fired, and I called him a couple days ago and said, "Listen, if I can give you some advice." When I got fired, I agonized, I cried, I beat myself up over the fact that I was taking my family out of a situation that they loved. My kids had great friends. My wife had great friends. And because I wasn't able to win at the level that Minnesota wanted me to, I had to take them out of there. And I really beat myself up over it. And I told him, I said, do not do that. Sandra's a great lady, very personable. She'll meet a lot of great people. Your children are great kids. They'll make great friends, just like my wife and kids have done. Danny's going to go on to a great football spot, and he's going to kill it, and his family's going to do great as well. So you can't beat yourself up over it. The landscape has drastically changed for all of us coaches. And I've been fired once. I hope I don't get fired again. But the way this thing is going, it just seems to be moving in that direction. So he should hold his head up high because I know he poured his heart and soul into this program.